So swing to here. Wow. Whoa. We have. Wow. I didn't realize I hadn't let go of the live stream. I had to get my coffee cup and welcome to Coffee with Kevin. Thanks for thanks for the grateful heart. Wow. Things have gone awkward today. Okay, let me tell you about today. Now that we're here. This is Coffee with Kevin. A couple of minutes in without even me here because I ran. I thought I had stopped the video stream. I ran and to get a coffee cup because this is Coffee with Kevin. You know, we're late today because I had a meeting this morning. I wanted to be able to go to the meeting and then still do this. I had sent out say, hey, what's going to happen at 10 o'clock? And at the meeting, I realized I couldn't get out early enough to get here for 10 o'clock. I wanted to do that on my cell phone. I couldn't log in with my cell phone. All sorts of stuff. Does this ever happen to you when you're trying to do something and it's just not where everything you try doesn't work out? That's what this is all about. And that's what today is all about is talking about how sometimes we have to be flexible. Sometimes we have to be flexible. Good morning, Antonio Martin. Hi, Tony. How you doing? And so, meaning, if I couldn't get it done the way I wanted to, I have to figure out another way to do that. We have obstacles in our way, and we can't be rigid and say, if this is not going to work the way I want it to, the way I expect it to, I'm not going to do it at all. It's just, it's a disaster. Sometimes we can't do that because we're going to have obstacles in our way throughout life. And we need to learn to be flexible. We need to learn to realize that things aren't going to go our way all the time. What is it? Murphy's Law, right? If something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong. Of course, that's not all the time. There's many times things go right the exact way I expect them to. And there's many times in your life that things go the exact way you expect them to as well, I'm sure. Good things come to those who wait. This is from my son Tony. So we waited for you, good, for your good words of the day. Oh, that's so. Thank you very much, Tony. Mm, mm. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee or tea, whatever it is that you're drinking this morning, sharing it with me and the rest of us that may be listening to this. Anyway, I'm talking about being flexible. One of the things. Good morning. Oh my goodness, Brenda's on too, as well. Well, this is nice. One of the things is, things are going to go wrong. It's inevitable. If you're doing something long enough, things are going to go wrong. But you have to be flexible. You have to roll with the flow. You have to allow yourself to roll with the flow. If you don't, it doesn't work. Now, today is the 4th of February. The 4th of February it's just an amazing how fast this is going. Now I wasn't going to miss this. This is the first one in February, and it's been 5 years since we've been doing this. 5 years last December. I've missed two, I believe two Tuesdays over that time, possibly three, but I wasn't going to miss another. So as I'm sitting in my meeting this morning, and I had known that I wouldn't make the 9 o'clock, so I said, I sent the message out. We're going to be at 10 o'clock, and I'm looking at my watch and saying, "Geez, I can't get out of here. I won't be able to get back in time." I didn't say no. We're not going to do it. I said, "Okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to be flexible, how to do this." in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we have a bunch of tenets. We call them presuppositions. Really weird word. It's taken me years to get used to. One of them says that the most flexible part in a system will control the system. And I changed this to the most flexible person will be the most successful person, meaning you're not rigid, and things have to go the way you want them to go. When I teach goal setting, I say the same thing. You can set a goal. I want you to be specific about your goal. However, and set actions that you're going to do. However, don't be held to achieving that goal only by the way you think you will. Sometimes as we're moving towards a goal, we need to be a little flexible. We need to understand that we may get our goal other ways as well. I've told this story several times in here about the guy who was on the roof of his house as floodwaters came up, and he died. He went to God and he said, God, you told me you were going to save me. And God said, hey, I sent a small boat to get you, and then I sent the Coast Guard to get you, and then I sent a helicopter to get you, and each time you refused them. He had in his mind how he was going to be saved. God was going to lift him or something like that. He just didn't recognize the other ways. We have to be flexible. We have to be flexible. So let's see what we have today. We've got a couple of quotes here. Flexibility is the key to stability. John Wooden, a great basketball coach. I believe basketball. Flexibility is the key to stability. It sounds weird because it seems inflexibility, not inflexibility, but something that's rigid would be stable. But no, flexibility is the key to stability, because life is not stable. Life is unstable. It brings a lot of different things to us on a daily basis sometimes. So we have to be flexible. And that flexibility will allow us to be stable. All right. The next one. Flexibility is a requirement for survival. I love that. Because, from the day we're born, nothing's going to happen in a very stable way. Nothing's going to happen as is expected. And if we're not flexible, we won't be able to survive. If we can't roll with the flow sometimes, we won't be able to survive. If we're expecting everything to go our way and we don't do anything else, we won't be able to survive. My last one here. Blessed are the flexible, for they will not allow themselves to become bent out of shape. I love that. I love that mostly because Robert Ludlum is one of my favorite authors. Robert Ludlum is the author who got me to be able to read when I was in my 20s. When I was younger than that in school, throughout school, I was the slowest reader there ever was. I could never finish reading assignments on time. I had the hardest time to read. And then I discovered Robert Ludlum. In a way, maybe that was me being flexible. I said, okay, let's try something different. I hadn't been able to read, and instead of looking at the smaller books, because I had such a hard time even finishing those, if you're familiar with Robert Ludlum, he barely ever writes a book less than 600 pages, or at least his first books weren't. And The Born Identity and things like that. So I started reading those, and all of a sudden I was reading. I had to be inflexible. I had to be okay. Instead of continuing to try to read these small books to get better, I had to try something a little different. So try to be inflexible when needed. And so you don't get bent out of shape. Like this morning, I could have gotten bent out of shape when I couldn't make it to do this on time. And then when I did make it to do this on time, everything else went wrong. I was flexible enough for that. Interesting subject today. I had a lot of fun being here, telling you about that, and talking to my family that was on here as well. If you're seeing this later, please remark if you like this. Please share if you like this. I would appreciate it greatly. Take care now. Have a great week. Matter of fact, you know it's in your power to make it a great week. Bye.